Hey, I'm up YouTube. Welcome back to another video with Rams fan YT. In today's video, we'll be looking at the history of Preston North End, from the highs to the very much lows. Preston North End, they were founded in 1863. They were originally, like many first football clubs, a cricket club. And they played their first matches at the Marsh. This is near the River Ribble, if you don't know that, which is in the Preston suburb of Ashton. Later that year, they switched to Moor Park in the north of the town, calling themselves North End in recognition of the new location. On the 21st of January 1875, the club leased a field opposite Moor Park on the site of the current Deepdale Stadium, which has been their home ever since. The club formed a rugby union team in 1877 as a winter fitness activity, but this wasn't a success, and a year later they played their first game under the rules of association football. In May 1880, a proposal to fully adopt the association code was unanimously accepted, and Preston North End Football Club was officially founded. Preston became one of the first professional clubs by hiring players from Scotland. The players who came from Scotland to play in England in those days were known as the Scotch Professors. In 1887, they beat Hyde 26-0 in the first round of the FA Cup, which is still a record-winning margin in English first-class football. Scottish forward Jimmy Ross scored 8 goals in the match, before going on to score 19 goals in the competition that season. Also, to this day, it's still a record. They played Hibernian FC in 1887 World Championship, which they lost 2-1 in Edinburgh. In 1888-89, Preston became the first league champions and the first winners of the double, becoming the only team to date to go through an entire season unbeaten both the league and the FA Cup, winning the FA Cup without actually having conceded a goal. The team did so with a majority of the team being made up of Scottish players, still the Scotch Professors. In a contribution to Paul Agnew's 1989 biography of Tim Finney, the player himself wrote, "The club has long been known as Proud Preston, and the older Invincibles of the previous century set some incredible standards." The author wrote elsewhere, and that team became immortalised as the Old Invincibles. Other sources just call them the Invincibles, and both versions of the nickname have been used. In his autobiography, Finney wrote, "The championship stayed with North End by now the tagged the Old Invincibles the following year, but runners-up spot had to suffice for the next 3 seasons. As Finney said, Preston were league champions again in 1889-90, but have not won the title since. In total, there have been league runners-up 6 times, including 3 consecutive seasons from 1890-91 to 1892-93, and twice in the 1950s when Finney was playing. The club's last major trophy win was in the 1938 FA Cup final when they defeated Huddersfield Town 1-0. And the team included Bill Shankly, Andy Beattie, and goal scorer George Much. Preston's most famous player, though, is Tom Finney, and he joined the club as a teenager in 1938. His first team debut was delayed until 1946 by the Second World War, but he played for Preston until he retired in 1960. He was nicknamed the Preston Plumber because of his local business, and Finney remains the top goal scorer for the club, with 187 goals from 433 appearances, and also scored 30 international goals for England in 76 appearances. A year after Finney's retirement, Preston were relegated to the second division, and they have not played in the top division since then. They had a memorable season in 1963-64, when managed by the former player Jimmy Milner. They finished 3rd in the second division and reached the 1964 FA Cup final, where they lost a thrilling match 3-2 to West Ham United. Preston were first relegated to the third division after the 1969-70 season. Although they won promotion back again immediately, the team has spent 28 of the 49 seasons since 1970 in the bottom two divisions, including a span of 19 seasons from 1981 to 1982 to 1999 to the years 2000. The club experienced a near-terminal decline in the 1980s, which brought about the very real threat of closure. The nadir being that of the 1985-86 season, when they finished 23rd in the 4th Division and had to seek a re-election into the league. Under the manager John McGrath, the team recovered and won promotion back to the 3rd Division only a year later. But it was a false dawn, as the team spent another 3 years in the bottom division from 1993 to 1996. The club finally began to recover and move forward after a takeover by heating manufacturer Baxi in 1994, but their ownership ended in June 2002. The team's central defender David Moyes, then aged 34, began his managerial career when appointed by the Baxi-controlled board in February 1998. Moyes was successful and managed the team to the third-tier championship in 2000. Preston reached the 2001 playoff final, but were defeated by Bolton Wanderers. In the 2005 playoff final under Moyes, his successor, Billy Davis, Preston were beaten 1-0 by West Ham United. Following the Baxi sell-off and the departure of Moyes to Everton in 2002, the team was established at second-tier level through the 2000s, but more problems arose at the end of the decade, with an HM Revenue and Customs winding up order in 2002 and relegation to the third tier in 2011. The taxation issue was resolved by local businessman Trevor Hemmings, already a shareholder, who brought a controlling interest in June 2010. The team were promoted again via the playoffs in June 2015 and have been well placed in the EFL Championship since then. Just to mention on the ground that Deepdale was the original cricket club's home from 1875 and has been a football venue since 1878. It is the world's oldest football ground in terms of continuous use by a club in a major league. When Baxi took control, it embarked on an investment program which had the main goal of upgrading Deepdale into a modern stadium. The old ground was demolished and rebuilt in 4 stages, and the last of the new stands was opened in 2008. Part of the redevelopment was the original National Football Museum, which opened at Deepdale in 2001, but it was relocated to Manchester in 2012 after being closed for 2 years. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you are new around here. I hope you very much enjoyed the video. We've got lots more content coming up. We've got my predictions for the National League North and South coming up on Sunday, and then a history of Queen's Park Rangers. So it's goodbye for now.